Fox News strategic analyst and retired military intelligence officer, Lieutenant Colonel Ralph Peters, joins us. Thank you so much for being here today.
Hey, always great to speak with you.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you.
Thank you very much. And I know that you have some very specific concerns about what's taking place right now. First of all, you don't think this was the place to decide anything.
Well, ultimately, the Supreme Court is going to decide whether we like it or not.
But a district court was something you felt was appropriate.
Well, we have one district judge, Leon, who decided that, well, the NSA program is probably not constitutional, but he wasn't sure. He suspended his directive. Whereas yesterday, Judge Pauly laid out a very strong case about why this makes sense. But what really troubles me is the fact that this was largely a manufactured scandal. I mean, the real scandal is a traitor gave the Chinese and Russians our closest held secrets. That's the scandal. But the idea that Snowden was some kind of hero was really blown up by the press because lazy journalists can always get a headline by saying, the government's after you, the government's doing something bad, NSA boogeyman coming to watch you trolling porn sites. Well, I'm sorry. I've actually worked in intelligence, unlike virtually every talking head that's been bloviating about this. And I'll tell you, our intelligence community is made up of patriotic people who are doing their best to protect this country and its citizens. And Uma, for all the uproar about this, no one has been able to name a single law-abiding American, not one out of over 300 million citizens, who has been tangibly or demonstrably harmed by any NSA program. You want to look at who's spying on us? Who's really cheating? Who's really creepy? Look at Google.
Well, that's something a lot of folks are exploring right now and have concerns about in terms of what you're raising. Given what's at play right now, though, the ACLU says it's not going to back down. It's going to continue to fight this ruling front and center. Do you think, though, that for those who have concerns about abuses, even though you say not one law-abiding citizen has been harmed at this point by this type of operation, do you think that any potential abuses should have some strict oversight by Congress?
Yeah, it certainly should, and it does. And that's another travesty in this whole affair. You've seen so many frightened Democrats and Republicans both, members of Congress, running to the microphones saying, we've got to fix this, blah, blah, blah. The Senate and House Intelligence Committees were aware of every single NSA program in detail. And the braver ones, the ones with courage, and the rational ones, from Dianne Feinstein to Peter King, have defended these programs. Because Uma, it's such an example of our narcissism today in our society that Americans believe the government wants to spy on their private lives. The government doesn't have time. The intelligence community is too busy to spy on us. It's just too busy defending America. And we need these programs to keep Americans safe. But should there be oversight? Of course there is, and I'm not against even stricter oversight.
I've just got a few seconds left. I have to ask you really quickly about what happened in Egypt this week with the government there, the military government declaring the Muslim Brotherhood a terrorist network and jailing anyone tied to that network. Do you think that's going to provide some type of stability now in that volatile region?
Short term, yes. Long term, no. I can understand the Egyptians' military's frustration. They're trying to get society back under control, and they want the Brotherhood back in the box. But for me, when I look long term, I think it's much better to have the Muslim Brotherhood out in the open, where you can watch them and monitor them, than to have them underground, hiding and moving more toward an active terrorist role. So short-term gains, long-term pain.
All right, we shall see what lies ahead. Always great to see you, sir. Thank you so much for joining us with your insights.